He fell forward and landed face down in the grass. And the radio communications you hear pick up where we left off with the ones we played previously about the school.
Yeah, it was an anonymous caller, just at 5352 King.
This is Officer Hooper and Monty. This is the individual A's vehicle that had the bullet damage. That's the building where the apartment, where the party had taken place.
222 Robert. Outside 22 Robert, what was the code on that?
1 Frank.
All right, 10-4, 1 Frank, and thanks to all the assistants.
That's
241 Robert.
41 Robert.
Yeah, you got a window shot out over here of the car, approximately 5312.
That's Hooper and
All
Monty.
right, window shot out 5312 King.
Still black, blue hoodie, funny,
Male black running southbound on King, beige sweatshirt, black pants. Unit, you got the air. Unit with the foot chase, you got the air.
Shots fired, you better focus. We got shots fired, shots fired.
Shots fired. Guys fired by the
We got shots fired. Get an ambulance over here. We got one in custody now.
One in custody. Were any officers here?
Get an ambulance over here, 513.
All right, 513. Were any officers hit?
Negative.
10-4. We'll get firewall for you, 5-3. 10-4.
63, roll the ambulance squad. Roll the ambulance.
5-3 and King, we'll get an ambulance going for you.
Get some cars over here, squad, just in case crowd control.
Alright, 224 Robert, you on the right now?
40 Robert, let's get the traffic blocked off on King, north and southbound.
14 Robert.
Black cloud now.
Alright, 10-4.
6-3 Charlie, we're rolling wherever you need us, let us know.
Alright, 6-3 Charlie, got you going as well. 10-4 and thanks.
12 Robert, put it on the box.
12 Robert, we got you rolling.
6-3, throw it on the box.
6-3 rolling.
6-8 Robert, we're clear heading over there.
10-4.
223 on the way.
10-4. Alright, 10-4. 25 Robert, you want to start heading that way, do a little crowd control? 10-4. 21 Robert, got you over there.
34 Robert heading that way.
34 Robert, 10-4 and thanks.
6-4 boy.
6-4 boy.
We got that ambulance rolling, right?
10-4, ambulance is rolling.
Also, be been advised the weapon was recovered here on the scene.
Alright, 10-4, weapon recovered.
We're going to play it again in slow motion. A couple of things to point out is you'll see when Johnson is coming around the corner, you'll also see, as I pointed out, Officer Giuliana chasing behind him and Sergeant Costello. They were the officers that had called out the chase over the radio. Here's Johnson running around the corner, coming in the direction of Officer Hooper and Monty. This is Officer Giuliana. She's drawing her weapon. This is Officer Hernandez in the back seat, Gonzalez and Liano. Here's Johnson running behind. You see the flash of the shots coming from Hernandez. And Officer Hernandez was the officer closest to Johnson at the time. And while that was taking place, The officers had indicated that numerous officers had been calling out to him to drop his weapon, to stop, to freeze, and he failed to comply with any of their commands. What we did in order to get the best possible view of Johnson's hands, to show any objects in his hands, we sent the video to the Regional Computer Forensic Laboratory, which was established by the FBI. We were trying to get the clearest possible image. So the RCFL processed a still frame from that video at our request. We were trying to determine if there was visual proof of the weapon in Johnson's hands. And this is the result of their work. After the shooting, several officers ran over to Ronald Johnson and indicated they observed the weapon in his hand. And as you could see on the video, once the vehicle was repositioned, the vehicle with the in-car camera, you are able to see that officers did have their weapons drawn. Officer Hernandez recovered that weapon from Johnson's hand, later secured it in the trunk of a sergeant's vehicle. As you heard, there was a public safety issue as that crowd was forming. That weapon was photographed, and as you also heard, that radio communication was made within a minute and 50 seconds after the shooting that the weapon was in fact recovered. The weapon recovered from Johnson was a Browning high-power 9mm semi-automatic pistol. It had an extended magazine capable of holding 21 rounds. It was loaded with 12 live rounds, including a brand of ammunition that had 3 Tula brand cartridges. Photos of the weapon do corroborate that Ronald Johnson had the weapon in his hand when he was struck and fell. There's a clump of grass. These are photos that were taken while the weapon was secured in the back of the sergeant's vehicle. And as you can see, there is grass stuck in portions of the weapon. This would indicate that the weapon was in his hand at the time he fell in the grass. That was a photo that was taken of the grass area where he fell after he was struck. Additionally, after the weapon was placed in the vehicle, at the time it was placed in the sergeant's vehicle, there was a live round of ammunition. The weapon is in the slide lock position. When it's placed in the slide lock, it's normal for the cartridge to be ejected. That did not happen in this case. As you can see, the cartridge is still in there. That's just another piece of information that could indicate that there was some type of malfunction when he fell to the ground. Additionally, there was an unfired bullet, another 9mm Tula brand bullet that was recovered on the backseat of individual A's vehicle that forensic investigators found. That was in the same position where Ronald Johnson was seated. Right there, that was a Tula brand ammunition. It was the same type of ammunition that was recovered in Ronald Johnson's weapon. And that corroborates what individual A said, that after the shots had been fired at them, he heard Ronald Johnson cocking a pistol. That unfired Tula brand bullet was sent to the Illinois State Police Crime Lab. They examined it and they found markings on it that were consistent with an extractor from a semi-automatic pistol. That would corroborate what individual A said, that he heard a cocking of a pistol in the position where Ronald Johnson was sitting. Additionally, the pistol came back with Ronald Johnson's DNA profile on the weapon, and the Illinois State Police Crime Lab did ballistics testing and was able to link Johnson's weapon to a prior shooting that took place September 25th, 2013 at 5637 South Green in Chicago. And that shooting, no one had been arrested and no weapon was recovered back in 2013.
Thanks. based on the totality of the evidence in this case and with the very, very careful analysis of the laws of the state of Illinois, it is our determination that no criminal charges will be filed against Officer Hernandez in connection with the shooting death of Ronald Johnson. The totality of the evidence establishes the following. At the time of the shooting, Mr. Johnson was armed with a handgun. Mr. Johnson had run from an area where shots had recently been fired. Mr. Johnson resisted arrest, and Mr. Johnson ran into a public park and towards an occupied police vehicle that was arriving on the scene in that park. Based upon an objective review of the evidence in the law, we have determined that the prosecution could not establish beyond a reasonable doubt that the actions